feel like such an idiot, guys. Que pasa, YouTube? 6-Foot Hacks here. Happy guys, today week 1 of Pokemon Full Glory Season 2. Of course, if you guys are excited for the Durham Druddigons to be in Pokemon Full Glory Season 2 and potentially get our second championship, make sure to hammer arm that like button down below and let me know what you guys think about our week 1 battle. Now, a couple things before I get into the actual week 1 game. Would really appreciate it if you guys could hear what I have to say. However, though, I will be leaving a little timestamp so you can skip right to the battle, but you guys may be a little bit confused on what's going on in the battle and what happens in week 2. So, first off, like I said, I'm a complete idiot. I feel like a complete idiot. I live recorded week 1, but for some dumb reason, the mic on my webcam was set to the actual webcam mic, and I have always checked my webcam mic before to ensure that it was on my new microphone, which is this one, not the actual webcam mic. So for some reason the microphone audio was coming off of my webcam, and of course the one time I don't record the audio along with the live battle and I just record the audio from the DS, of course the audio doesn't come in the right microphone and it's recorded off my webcam audio. So if you guys really wanted to watch week 1 live with absolutely terrible audio quality, then I guess I can re-upload it, but I really didn't want to put you guys through that. So week 1 is going to be post-commentated. I'm sorry. I really hope you guys can kind of understand that. And as for week 2, because we're actually doing battles a week in advance, which I actually kind of like. I didn't like it at first, but it's actually kind of nice to kind of keep up with things. But we're doing battles a week in advance, and week 2 is going to be post-commentated as well, just because I wanted to do week 1 live, then do week 2 post-com, and see how you guys kind of reacted to that. So I guess in the comment section below, let me know if you guys would maybe like to see these live commentated or post-commentated, or maybe like a mixture. I wouldn't mind actually doing a mixture of like live and post commentated. So yeah, let me know what you guys would like to see in the comment section below. Would really appreciate you guys' support. I know a lot of you in the past said that you would like to see live com, but I know sometimes I tend to overthink my plays during live com, so maybe you guys would like to see post com. So yeah, week 1 and week 2 are going to be post commentated, but by week 3, if a majority of you guys want live commentated battles, then week 3 onwards they will be live commentated, or there'll be a live 1 week and then a post com next week, and I'll just kind of flip-flop between those two. But yeah, guys, that's all I really have to say. Again, I'm really sorry for being a complete idiot and I guess not realizing the microphone was on like the actual webcam mic, but I'm pretty sure I checked it right before I recorded. And just, yeah, hopefully you guys still enjoy week 1, and if you do, you know what to do. Let's go ahead and jump into the battle. All right, guys, so we got week 1 here. We are facing Nidor, the coach of the Montreal Explouds. If you guys may have missed my team analysis video, a link to that will be down below. Also, a draft analysis video of the Durham Druddigons will be down in the comment section below. Also, check out our awesome new logo, man. Give a huge thanks to my boy Andre. His Twitter link is going to be down below. The man makes phenomenal GFX, guys. Definitely commission him when he is open. Highly recommend him. So, going into this battle, looking at team preview, I was really happy to not see that he didn't bring Gardevoir and he didn't bring Zapdos. I found it a little bit odd that he brought the Aggron and the Decidueye. Aggron and Uxie is also a little bit odd to me, but going into this game, the main things I had to watch out for Dragon Dance Haxorus. Also, Exploud could kind of be a problem if Cobalion gets worn down, but my dedicated lead in this game, regardless of whatever he brought, was going to be my Victini, because Victini really matches up well against whatever lead he wants to lead with. Even if he leads Rotom, I'm Assault Vested, so I can chew out Hydro Pump, find out if he's Scarfed or just a defensive set, and then go from there. So I'm going to be leading off with Vicente the Victini, as he's going to be leading off with the Haxor as my mascot. Ooh, we got 2 Dons going at it turn 1. So turn 1, I'm going to go straight for the Glaciate. At max HP, there is nothing that this Haxorus can do to me that's going to knock me out on any one hit. This is not one of his Z-move-ons, so I really don't care what he does want to go for. As it turns out that he's Scarfed because he's able to outspeed me. Glaciate is going to be a solid 2 KO, and thanks to the -1 speed, I will outspeed him the following turn. So expecting him to switch into the Rotom, I actually go for the U-turn, but he stays in, which I found to be really odd. I'm guessing he was just sacking it off, as I then bring in my Garchomp. Now, the main reason I brought in Garchomp was because I thought that he was going to live Rocky Helmet plus Rough Skin. That way, the following turn, he would knock himself out to the Rough Skin and Rocky Helmet, and then I would be able to get up Stealth Rocks. But he actually knocks himself out to the first Shadow Claw, which I guess is kind of nice, but it would have been really good to get up Stealth Rocks if I was able to do that. As in comes the Rotom, I don't want to get burned, I don't want to take an HP Ice, and I don't want to take a Hydro Pump. As I switch into Raichu here, this was honestly the best thing. I had to take a Hydro Pump, and I'm going to slow this part down because that miss is actually kind of important. It really sucks that Nidor missed that Hydro Pump, because now this means my Raichu can potentially get off 2 hits on that Rotom, putting him in range of where I can revenge kill him. As where if he had hit that first Hydro Pump, he easily would have been able to get off a solid 60%, take a Thunderbolt or a Volt Switch, and then go for a second Hydro Pump. And then he would have been able to knock out my Raichu, which means I only would have done about 35-ish% to this Rotom. But because he did miss that first Hydro Pump, this gives me another hit with my Raichu. Now, there is the chance that he would have missed his third or second Hydro Pump after he had hit me with the first one. So you can honestly theory mine about this back and forth all day. But just the fact of the matter is that he missed the first Hydro Pump. I'm able to get off 2 Thunderbolts on the Rotom Wash. And that is absolutely amazing, because if he doesn't have the Pain Split, he's not going to be able to recover back up to full HP. And because I do have a good amount of mons to outspeed a non-speed invested Rotom, things are even better for me. As I bring in my Victini, if you look at his team, he literally has no safe switch in to this Victini. So I'm going to be able to pick off the Rotom with the Energy Ball. Because I was Assault Vested and not Life Orb Extra Belted, if he had hit that first Hydro Pump into a killed Raichu, Rotom Wash wouldn't have been in range of where I would have knocked him out with the Energy Ball. So as in comes the Decidueye, I drew a complete blank, and I forgot that the Decidueye actually learned Sucker Punch. So he's able to pick me off, which I mean is fine. Like, I should have hard switched out honestly, but at this point Victini already put in enough work. Like, I mean, I guess it would have been nice to get up another KO, like get another KO on the Exploud or maybe the Aggron, but it's not entirely too bad because I can then bring in my Aerodactyl here, which Mega Aerodactyl alone just beats Nidor's entire draft. So I'm gonna go straight for the crunch. I thought about going for the Aerial Ace. At the same time though, I thought that he was maybe gonna switch into his Aggron, which I guess I could have had Earthquake for that. So I guess him leaving in Decidueye wasn't entirely too bad of a play. But if I did Aerial Ace there, I would have knocked him out, so I wouldn't have had to take the Sucker Punch damage. Honestly, the Sucker Punch was very obvious, but me roosting really wouldn't have mattered too much because after I knock out the Decidueye, his initial switching to me should be this Aggron, which because I don't have the Earthquake and I don't have Aqua Tail, I really can't do too much damage to this Aggron. So my hardest hitting move is going to be this Crunch, which still does a respectable, like, 15-20-ish%, as he's gonna knock me out with the Ice Beam. Of all, I did not expect him to have the Ice Beam, honestly. That just completely threw me for a loop. So this gives me a free switch into my Suicune. Now you would think Suicune is pretty much free here to go for Calm Mind and just win. The only problem with that is that unless I'm at +2, Exploud could still 2A KO me, and there is the slight possibility that this Uxie probably has the trick. So I really didn't want to mess around with that. I really thought Scalding there instead of going for the Calm Mind was by far my better play. As I get off a decent little bit of chip damage on the Uxie, I can switch directly into my Garchomp. Highly doubt he's got the Ice Punch or the Hidden Power Ice. So I'm going to be able to get up my rocks his following turn, as it turns out that he had the Future Sight, which I was not expecting. And then he goes for Knockoff, which is actually really good for me because I'm going to get off Rough Skin damage and Rocky Helmet damage, chipping him down in the process. And a last minute edit I actually made to this Garchomp was changing Toxic to Dragon Claw, which in this particular scenario, me having Dragon Claw is going to be really good because I can definitely 2-KO him as long as I don't get too absolutely low damage. damage rolls as he chews the first Dragon Claw. Turns out that he himself has Rocky Helmet, and even after the Rocky Helmet chip damage, I'm going to be able to live this Psyshock, and then the following turn, I can probably knock him out with another Dragon Claw. Unfortunately, I think I might have got a low damage roll on the second hit, so he's able to just barely live and get up that Future Sight again. But honestly, that Future Sight isn't entirely too problematic because at this point, his last mons are the Yuxi, the Exploud, and the Aggron. All three of which just lose to my Cobalion unless one of them has a Chopple Berry, which is very, very likely for them to have in Draft League format. So I make a bit of a misplay here, and I go for the Dragon Claw. I honestly should have 110% gone for the Rock Tomb. Rock Tomb would have ensured that I knocked out Yuxi, I didn't take the Rocky Helmet damage, and then I would have been able to see what he wanted to switch in unless... without it being a double down is what I meant. So on the double down, I bring in Cobalion because it's got the best matchup against his final two mons. As he brings in the Exploud, I'm a little bit worried that this thing could have the Chopple Berry. So I'm going to Volt Switch to get off that initial chip damage. Plus, if I had gone for the close combat and he had the Chopple Berry and he went for Fire Blast plus Future Sight damage, plus me being at -1 even though I have the Assault Vest, could have probably knocked me out, and that would have been really bad. So by switching in the Suicune here, I'm able to get off the chip damage with the Volt Switch, and now if he's not running any Speedy Vs, I can outspeed him the following turn, or I can find out what set he's running. So because he went for the Surf, if he's choiced, I can just stay in here and lose literally nothing, as I am faster than him. He turns out to have the Bloom Doom. I'm not gonna lie, when I saw this, like, this completely threw me for a loop. I honestly thought that he was gonna bring either the All-Out Pummeling or the Inferno Overdrive for my Cobalion, but honestly, him having Bloom Doom for Suicune makes a lot of sense because Calm Mind Suicune probably would have wrecked him late game, especially if he didn't have this Bloom Doom Exploud. So obviously, he's going to just annihilate my Suicune, but this is fine, guys, because we got the lone GOAT Cobalion coming in. At this point, I know he's not Chopple Berry. He's not going to switch into Aggron, so I can just click close combat here and pick up a KO. As down goes the Exploud, his only chance of winning at this point is if he's got Chopple Berry, Metal Burst, Aggron, which I'm pretty positive he's not going to have because he already showed to me that he had Ice Beam. I guess Chopple Berry plus Ice Beam could be a set, but at that point, even at -2 defense, I don't think there's any move that Aggron has that he could knock me out in any one hit. So I would have been able to chew a hit even if he had the Chopple Berry and still picked up the KO. So thank you to Corbin the Cobalion for putting the team on his back at the end, guys. And that is going to be the 1-0 victory for the Durham Druddigons in week 1 of Pokemon 4 Glory Season 2. So again, guys, I am truly, truly sorry from the bottom of my heart for just absolutely screwing up week 1. Week 2, again, is going to be post-commentated, and starting on from week 3 and onwards, we will hopefully have live comms, or we will have a mixture of post-com and live commentated battles. So, of course, if you guys did enjoy the video, make sure to hammer arm that like button down below. Let me know what you thought about this first week matchup. Let me know if you guys would like to see live com or post-com more, or if you would like to see a mixture of the both. So, with that being said, guys, check out my opponent, check out P4G, and I will see you all tomorrow and next week for week 2 of Pokemon 4 Glory Season 2. So, later, everybody.
Cause my brain and heart are both tied in the knot, and this hinders me from crying a lot. This causing me to show no emotion, but when I said I cared, I wasn't joking. But I guess it's too late for me to become broken. For now, I'm living with no more pain, tears of hoping. I'm just coasting. Yeah, I said I'm coasting. No more pain, tears, and hoping. For real.